Okay, so after you have created your marketing messages for your digital display, I'm going to show you how to upload them to Dynasign LE, how you can schedule them and upload them to your unit. If you have purchased a new digital display and the software Dynasign is already preloaded, then each sign will have its own IP address and it'll automatically be all synced up and ready to go based on the order that you have placed for your unit. You will have to have those IP addresses in order to make that connection out to your digital display, whether you're using wireless antennas, fiber optic, direct connect, or a critical point router. But ultimately, you will need to know what those IP addresses are, so that way the software you are using on your computer can find the code or the IP address to connect out to your sign. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Dynasign, and this is what the icon looks like right up here. So I'm going to double click on it. So the username for your Dynasign software is going to be admin, and the password is Dynasign, Dynasign, and click login. In this section you can watch the tutorials, and it gives you like a step-by-step instruction, and you can do that on your own time. But if you're watching the tutorial that I'm showing you here, you might be able just to skip this step. So you can click on Quick Tutorial, and we're ready to begin. Now if you're starting this fresh, you won't have any of these options in here that I've already created, but I'm going to show you how to create a basic layout for your digital sign. So the first thing you want to do whenever you're making something new, you got to be able to set up the layout. You're going to be able to identify what the size is, where it's going, of how your layout's going to be with the sign that you're working with. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open that layout, and I'm going to start on something new. So I have a layout name. Obviously, you probably want to call this the name of your digital display, or at least the size of it. And then if you have a digital display, you might want to know what the matrix size is. As a default, I'm just going to put 128 by 256. So if your digital display is maybe like a 128 by 192, 256 by 512, 120 by 256, you'll need to know what the pixel size ratio is so you can add that in here. It's not essential, but it will help you to identify what it's supposed to be. And then in this section, this is where you can add in your screen resolution. So this here is width, so this is going to be 256, or you'll need to verify what your width is, but in this case I'm just going to use this as an example. And then I'm going to put in 128. So now I have this size here that it's fit to. Okay. Then after that I'm going to click on New, and I just want to have just one type of layer. If you have multiple layers in here, where you have maybe a layer over here, a layer over here, maybe a one down here, you can pick which ones in here you want to choose. Each layer will have like a video, a picture, or a multitude of different things, and you can discuss that with your trainer on exactly which one you want to have. So I'm going to click on Show One Regular. Then I'm going to click OK. So there's my layer right there. I'm going to give it a description. I'm just going to call it, Vision Tech. And then 128 by 256. Okay. Then I want to change my size. So my height is going to be 128. And my width is going to be 256. Just like that. So now we have that in there. And now after I get done doing that, I can go ahead and click on Save. And here's my new setup. So after I get done with that, I'll need to click on Assign to Application. And I'm just going to click on Save. I already have some in there that I've created already for other units, but you may not have all of these in here. You'll create something brand new. Either way, you're going to click on Save. So now it's in there. Okay. The next thing you need to do after you have made your layout, the second step is you need to go to your application. So after you get to your application, so I'm going to click on New and choose Custom Application. I'll click on Next. And then I'm going to find the screen resolution that I had picked. So I'm going to scroll down here, and there's my 128 by 256. Then click Next. Then I'm going to go to Custom Layout, and there's my Vision Tech 128 by 256. I'm going to click on that, highlight it, and click Next. Then I can just give it just a random name. So I'm just going to call it Vision Tech 128 by 256. And like I said, you can call it whatever you want to. That way you can identify what it's supposed to be out at your location. Then I'm going to click Finish. And here we go. So if I want to go back to Layout, then go back to Application, here's my Vision Tech 128 by 256 right in here. Alright. So now that I have this in here, I'm going to click on my Vision Tech 128 by 256. And it says View Playlist. This is where you can schedule your messages for your sign. So I'm going to click on View Playlist. Now right now I don't have anything in there because I haven't added anything to my messages that I want to play on my sign. So if I want to add in a new slot or a new message, I can click on New Slot. Then I'm going to click on Video. The reason I have to move this is because I have a 3-foot wide screen. Then at the bottom right corner I got to click on Next. It's going to give me a content description. I'm just going to call it Foot Design because in my previous other videos we created a foot design in PowerPoint and in Sony, so I want to be able to add that in here. So here's my foot design, and I need to know what the content duration is going to be, how long the video is going to last in seconds. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to find that video. And that was in Test Images. So here's my Hello World. So that's how you can tell how long your video lasts by looking at the seconds. It'll tell you that right down here. So I have 19 seconds. I can close this out, so I want to put in 19 right here. I'm going to leave it on sequence 1 because I want it to be the first one that plays. And you can dictate if you wanted to stop and start it at certain times throughout the month, the day, the year, that sort of thing. So right in this area where it says video file, I'm going to go browse for my video. So I go to my desktop because that's where I put it. My test images. There's Hello World right there. Make sure that down in this area you have all files selected. That way if you had additional stuff in here, like not just MP4s, but maybe some WMVs, maybe some MOV files, something from Flash or something like that, you could see everything in here that you wanted to add into your slot. So once you click on that, you can click on Open. It'll pop it in there for you. You can say that it can be an exact fit. That way it'll fit it from edge to edge. So that's what we want. You can click on Finish. It'll pop it in there for you, just like that. Then you can do the same thing for additional stuff. You can go to New Slot, click on Video, click on Next, and I can have another content description in here. I'm just going to call it Have a Great Day. And then I want to be able to determine how long the video is going to last. So you need to go down and check that out. So here's my folder. Here's my PowerPoint presentation that I did earlier. I have a great day, so that's what I want. And I want to know how long this thing's going to last. And it says down here at the bottom, y'all can see it. I'll move it up here. It says 24 seconds right there. So I know it's going to be 24 seconds. So then I'm going to make this 24. I'm going to leave the sequence like this, and I'm going to show you how to change the sequence on when these things play within Dynasign. And I want it to play 24/7, and then I'm going to go down here to my video file, then click on Browse. Then I'm going to navigate to the folder that video is in. So here's my have a great day right here. And then I'm going to click on open, and there it is right there. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on finish, and bam, popped it in there just like that. Now right now these things, they play 1 to 1, which means this one plays first and this one plays second. If I want to number them, or this one right here, maybe like number 2. And so this one I want it to play first, and then foot design I want it to play second. So since I've labeled this at number 2 and I click on save duration and sequence, it's going to flip-flop these, and so number 1 is going to be at the top, then number 2 is going to be at the bottom. Just like that. And after you add in multiples of different messages, you can number them however you want to. So they can play 1 through 10, through 20, through 30, or however many that you have. And so after you get done doing that, and you put in all the messages that you want in here, you can go up to player, and this is where you can send your messages out to your sign. Now, since I have a 128 by 256 setup, these are the only ones that I'm connected to. What you will have is your sign in here that will have a 128 by 256, or it'll have the matrix in here. These here are a different setup, but at least you can kind of see what it would look like. Since that video that we just got done making, I don't want to send it out there. I want to show you at least what it looks like whenever you send something correctly out to a sign. Okay, I'm just going to use this sample here of this 10 millimeter, this 192 by 384 that I've already set up so I can send a video out to this sign that's just outside our building. So I'm just going to go into application, and I want to find this digital that I have here on my list, which is this one right here. So I can click on it, and if you recognize this, it says main. I'm going to click on main. It gives me the option to go to view playlist. Now right now I have this winter demo in there playing. Okay, and that's all it's playing on my digital sign. For those of you that have multiple ads, you may have multiple slots in here. But this particular slide lasts for about 124 seconds. It's relatively a long time, a little over 2 minutes long. I'm just going to use this as an example, and I'm going to click on save duration and sequence. Then I'm going to go into player, and this is the one that I was using. It is running, so I want to verify the connection. You don't have to do the verify connection every single time, but I like to do it just to be safe. So this is the one I want. And so after I have selected this, and you must select it in order to send it out to the sign correctly. If you have one message and it's going to fit on all of these, on no matter what you have, then you can select all of them and it will publish to every single one of them. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to select publish to selected players. So what it's doing is it's verifying it, got it ready, and it sent it right out to the sign. That's how quick it goes. I mean, it's super fast. I'm actually going to do that again for you so that way you can see it one more time. And I'm going to move the camera over so you can check that out. There's my digital. I've selected it. I'm going to click on publish to selected players. Boom, done. That's how awesome this software is. Then once it's done, you click on close and you're finished. Now, if you have any questions or you would like to know more information about this software, you can call Vision Tech at 1-800-927-1778. You can ask for a technician here, and we will be happy to assist you with whatever software questions you may have. And that's all for now. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Bye-bye.